As Oliver Queen digs through the wreckage left behind from the events of Absolute Power, will he find himself on the right or the wrong side of the greater superhero community? Well, let's hop into the pages of Green Arrow issue number 17, the Fawn Farewell issue, from Joshua Williamson, and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as we join the book proper, Green Arrow has hit the streets in hopes of tying up some loose ends left behind by the defeat of Amanda Waller in Task Force 7. Mainly, no one thought to arrest Peacemaker and Peace Wrecker yet, and because of that, the two have decided to go to ground. Of course, during his time working deep cover in Waller's cabal, Green Arrow got to know these two numbskulls pretty good, and because of that, he knows exactly where they're going to be going. At first, Peacemaker thinks he's a pretty cool guy because he manages to catch one of Green Arrow's arrows out of the air before saying, "Yeah, well, guess what, traitor? Try and do that with a bullet." Only for the arrow to end up tasing both him and Peace Wrecker, taking them both out. And hey, speaking of Peace Wrecker, isn't it interesting that we've gone a whole 17 issues and we never actually learned who was under her mask? At first, everyone thought that it must have been Hardcourt from the Peacemaker TV show, and then it was heavily implied that she might have just been a female Chris Smith from another universe who had a bone to pick with Wonder Woman. And even now, right here at the end, we don't actually get a 100% concrete answer. How about that? With two of Waller's most dangerous collaborators off the streets, GA decides to take this opportunity to go and gloat to the woman herself. Though in a major continuity snafu, Waller actually is still very much aware that Green Arrow and Oliver Queen are the same person, even though she shouldn't, because at the end of Absolute Power, as part of Waller's punishment, she was imprisoned and all of her knowledge of the superhero world got wiped from her mind. Then again, she kind of does need that stuff, or this whole conversation doesn't make any sense, with Waller saying, "I made you a deal, and you crossed me. No prison can hold me forever, and when I'm out of here, it's gonna be on sight, Green Arrow." Now, if you read the final issue of Absolute Power, you'll know that Ollie had pled his case to Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman for everything he did. Yeah, he went a little too deep, yeah, he broke the rules. But in the end, Ollie helped save everyone, and he was also a major driving force behind the Trinity wanting to get the Justice League back up and running again, and they did. The only problem is that Green Arrow now finds himself feeling like a pariah amongst all of his fellow heroes. As he explains in his internal monologue, maybe he did too good of a job going undercover. Maybe the events of the last couple years have made him a little bit bitter. Maybe him and Waller did share the same fear of the future. And honestly, what does it say about Ollie's own personal character that he finally got back his family, everything he wanted, everything he's been fighting for years, only for him to basically put it all on the line again? Is he really that reckless, really that much of a gambler? This issue also explains the secret of the mystery box from Scott Snyder's Justice League. Well, I say explains, though in truth much of it is kept mysterious. You'll remember that Martian Manhunter had entrusted Green Arrow with a literal mystery box, saying that whatever was in it held the power to defeat the Justice League should that time ever come. And indeed, Green Arrow did use the box to defeat the Amazos after they stole the Justice League powers. We just still never exactly learn what was in it. I mean, in my own headcanon, I guess it was another type of those crazy metals from the Metal Wars, because Ollie did turn it into an arrow. But if you're one of those people who are, again, looking for a 100% concrete answer, you're not exactly gonna get it here in this issue, sorry. Now, even though Green Arrow had pled his case to the Trinity, he still feels the need to clear the air with everyone else on the ever-growing Watchtower, and oh man, does he have one hell of a rant chambered. "Oh, look at all of you standing in judgment of me, thinking you're all so much better just because I did what needed to be done and I put it all on the line for people I loved. Well, sorry. Actually, hashtag sorry not sorry. You don't have to forgive me, you don't even have to forget, but I'm not out of order. The whole damn system's out of order, man, and if you want to take my badge and my gun and break my bow right now, you can." Only for Superman to pat Ollie on the shoulder and say, "Dude, it's fine, we talked about it, we had a vote, you're totally still in, it's okay, man." Ah, geez, Clark, why'd you let me rant and make an asshole of myself then, just because it's hilarious? Of course, even though the greater Justice League is appeased with Ollie's behavior, that still doesn't mean he doesn't have to answer to the rest of the Green Arrow family, who he arguably put through more of a ringer than anyone else. At first, they ask him if he really seriously thought they were just going to stay on that island and stay out of the fight, only for Oliver to say, "No, of course not. That's why I love you guys. You buck the system, including me. In fact, that's why, despite what she says, I will never become like Waller. I will never become an oppressive system because I've surrounded myself with good, loving people who are willing to challenge me for the greater good." Now, hey, how about we forget our troubles with a nice hot bowl of chili? Ollie. It's also around here too, Oliver says that he's had just about enough of multiverses and space travel, and because of that he just wants to get back to basics in Star City. And what better way to do that than messing up the brand new Intermeds company? Yeah, that's right, it seems that Intergang has moved out of Metropolis and decided to get into the very lucrative world of prescription drugs, or at least that was the plan until Green Arrow showed up to fill them full of arrows. Now, that's where the main story, and by extension, Joshua Williamson's time on the main Green Arrow book comes to a close, but we're also treated to a special extra-length backup story, setting up the new run by writer Chris Condon, who's actually primed to have one a hell of a year beginning with this book. We see Ollie once again back doing the whole gritty urban Avenger thing, complete with a new rundown office that he's still trying to build up. Black Canary gifts him a brand new costume, and Batman comes to visit to do his classic Batman thing. The League might have forgiven you, but earning our trust back is something you're gonna have to work at, only for Ollie to go, oh yeah, call me the next time there's another failsafe problem, Batman. Geez, I didn't know GA had a roasting arrow on his belt, but apparently he does. The rest of the story involves a Mr. Sherman, a corrupt industrialist who seems to be in the chemical business. He gets kidnapped from his high-tech house by a mysterious villain who executes the industrialist by forcing him to drink his own poisoned water. And also, what is it with these new villains now all looking exactly the same? Red goggles, gas mask. And oh hey, speaking of costumes too, we also get a look at what Green Arrow's new costume is going to look like for the brand new run, and honestly, it's kind of cool. It's got some interesting ideas. The hood now comes with a short cape, a face covering to go with the domino mask, and everything else seems actually quite sleek and slimmed down. We don't get a great look at it in this issue, but I'll be interested to see how it's rendered in the main series proper, and yeah, that's more or less where this issue comes to an end. And so that was Green Arrow issue number 17, everybody, and overall I would say this is a mixed but ultimately positive bag. As far as Joshua Williamson's final word on Green Arrow, I would say that probably the best way to actually judge a run is if the hero is left in a better place than they were before the new creator came on. And for Ollie, I would say, yeah, he's in a much better place than he was before, especially when we stop and consider that this series was only supposed to be a 6-issue mini that actually ended up exploding into its own big-time ongoing. I do have some minor nitpicks. It did certainly look like Joshua Williamson had more story left in him, and a lot of stuff isn't going to actually be resolved, which is a shame. But he's a busy man, and he's busy blowing my mind on other books like Superman right now, so I'm willing to let this one slide, even though Green Arrow is my favorite hero. Overall, I think I feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. I'm very interested to see what Chris Condon brings next, and the brand new Green Arrow annual that'll also be dropping soon. So be sure to keep your eyes glued to my channel for when both of those videos drop in the future. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye.